I could not tell you anything about the book.
To tell a story is in some part to tell a lie, isn't it?
Hello everyone, I'm Danae. Welcome to my summer reading vlog. This video has been so fun to film and edit. I've been recording this video for 2 months. Literally the entirety of summer is in this video for me. My summer reads, my vacation, my vibes, watching Love Island, a little bit of everything is in this reading vlog. I've been working on it, like I said, for 2 months. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I know that today is August 10th and everyone has already transitioned into fall pretty much. Everyone's talking about October, but I still have my summer reading vlog that I really wanted to upload, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. I read 3 books in this video. I read The Night and the Moth, Six of Crows, and Firefly Wedding. It's my first time ever reading a manga, and I think one more book I end up picking up and reading a little bit of. So see you later on in the video. Okay, I have not been talking to you guys this entire vacation. I plan on it being a quick montage, but I'm eating my room service and I am looking at the Love Island first look, and I really wanted to make comments about it because I watched the entire season of Love Island yesterday, which was Wednesday. So I'm sitting here, I'm eating my room service, a burger and fries, and I thought we could chat about Love Island because I just watched the first look. Basically, yesterday was Wednesday, so as you know, no Love Island episode is released on Wednesdays. I went and I watched the entire season of Love Island yesterday, all 7 episodes, in preparation so I can now be watching On Track on Time. I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it. I'm a big Bryce and Trinity fan, and I just watched the first look and it seems like Bryce is saying Trinity doesn't like him that much, and I'm like, no, she likes you, she likes you. That's pretty much it. I like Bryce, I like Zach, I like Trinity. Those are my favorites. I know the bombshells came in last episode. Like, I cannot imagine being on Love Island and walking around in your bikini 24/7, having your hair cute every single day. No bad days. Like, I just want to sleep in today doesn't exist. Like, I just want to sleep in and read doesn't exist. Anyways, we went snorkeling today and we were just out and about on the villa. I haven't done much reading while I'm here just because it's not the vibe, to be honest. I tried to read today while just sitting out by the beach, and I continuously kept restarting my book. So I have 0 pages of Six of Crows read, but I did actually read like 2 chapters. I was not conscious when I read that. I could not tell you anything about the book. Okay, I am 46% through Six of Crows right now. It took me a while to do this update. This is my first time speaking to you guys since my vacation. I have been on vacation for like 9 days, and I picked up Six of Crows, or 10 days, and I picked up Six of Crows when I was on vacation, so I didn't really do a lot of talking then. I was in the Caribbean, we went out, sat by the pool, did a lot of like outdoor activities. I haven't really been talking about it because I think around the 30% mark of the book is when I finally was like comfortable with the characters and the storyline and like the world building, and I was like able to visualize where we were and what we were doing. But for a little bit there, I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just reading the book until it all starts to make sense. Chapter 1 had me so confused. I read chapter 1 on the plane. I was very interested in his point of view, and we just switch out of his point of view and we never get back his point of view, and I'm like, what was that? The way the chapter ended, I was like, what happened? And then later on you figure it out. But for so many chapters I was like, what? And even now knowing the answer, I'm like, what was the reason? But now I know because it was a part of the world building and like so many things, whatever. I like all of the characters for all of their different reasons. I ship Wylan and Jesper, obviously Matthias and Nina ship, and then obviously Cass and Inej. I feel like there's something brewing. We're still not quite at the heist yet, but we're basically there. We're like walking into the heist and we're learning all these different things about each character, which I love. Like every point of view, we have flashbacks for each of the characters and we learn a little bit about their backstory and what brought them here today. So I'm loving that. Right now I'm in Nina's point of view, I believe. I really want to get back to, and her name is Inej, I want to get back to her point of view or Kaz's point of view, because I swear the relationship is just so cute. Okay, they don't have a relationship, but I'm manifesting. Okay, like I feel like there's something there. I think that at first I was struggling reading like the world building and getting into this book because I have been reading a lot of not simple books, but like the last 4 books I read was the Zodiac Academy books 1 through 3 and some other book I can't remember right now. So I feel like they were more conversational books. Like if you were to talk to a real person and they're telling you a story of their life and you're like, those are the kind of books I'm reading, where it's like a very easy language, I guess is what I want to say. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Basically, I was just reading a different style of writing before on repeat, and now this is a new style of writing. So at first I was like getting used to it, but now I'm used to it, and I don't want to record because I'm hating my hair right now. I'm like berries and creaming right now, and it's just not a good look. So I'm gonna stop recording. I am currently making dinner right now. We're gonna try the cottage cheese sweet potato bowl things, ground beef sweet potato bowls. What is it called? The hot honey beef bowl? I don't really know, but we're gonna try that tonight. And then I'm 70% through Six of Crows. I thought it was a perfect time to check in. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my Kindle. Okay, I'm 70% through. I have lots of thoughts, but also I don't have a ton. So far, I'm really liking the storytelling in this, like the way that we're finding out information about the world. I like the way that everything is being described to us in a sense that it's connected to each character. So I feel like each element of world building is connected to each different person. So there's 6 people going on this heist, and each person has a different background, and each person has like, one was a soldier for the opposing side, one was a soldier for the Gershas, like the magical side, the people who are being enslaved or oppressed. And then we have one person who grew up in the barrel, and he didn't really, I would say he did. He says that he didn't because his father, like, all the way up until he was 10 years old. But I would say from 10 till 18, like, you grew up there, but whatever. Then we have one person who was kidnapped and sold. I don't know, we have elements of each person in the world building, so I find that it's so interesting because we get flashbacks of their lives and it takes you back to the world. So far I'm having fun. Of course. Hello, I'm sitting in my car, like waiting to go inside my house because I'm just procrastinating getting out because it's pouring raining. If you can hear it, I'm in my Jeep, so it's really loud. And I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to do none other than an update on Six of Crows. It's June 21st. I've been reading this book for like 2 weeks now. I'm currently 74% through, which means I'm on page 357. So far, like I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm liking seeing the relationships between all of the characters, not just like the little sets of relationships within the friend group. It's really interesting to see like their connections and like how they're all coming together to do this heist. I'm so interested in Kaz's life story and like everything he has going on. Inej too, I hope that's how you pronounce her name. All of them really have like the most interesting life stories and like reasons why they're here doing this heist. So I'm having a fun time. I'm liking it. It took me a second to get into the book, but now that I'm in it, I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. I think it's just because, like I was saying before, I went from reading like, it's boring me, the most basic romance books that were very conversational. I did not need to think at all. To this book where it's like it's not like a very high fantasy, like it's not hard to wrap your mind around, but it's just like a little different than what I was reading before. So it took me a second to get into it and get into the mood of reading this, but now that I am in the mood of this, I'm really enjoying the style of writing and the style of storytelling. So it even made me like more into this like mystery, not mystery, but like a thriller-y vibe. Because like this isn't a thriller, but it's suspenseful. There we go, suspenseful vibe. So I picked up His and Hers yesterday to read with my boyfriend, and I'm like locked in, and I don't think I would have been that interested in His and Hers if I didn't start Six of Crows first. So lots of fun things. I hope to finish this book maybe tomorrow. Today is Father's Day, so I don't think I'm gonna finish it today. But tomorrow I'm hoping I'll finish. So far so good on Six of Crows. I'm just sitting in my car doing this because I do not want to get out of my car while it's raining. I don't have an umbrella, but that's besides the point. I was recommended this book a month ago in the comments of my Mafia romance reading vlog, and I've been wanting to read it ever since, but I didn't feel like it was the right time to read it yet, so I wanted to take the time to actually enjoy it for what it's worth, and then I can watch it on Netflix later. But I think some people's favorite books ever. So many people say these are 6-star reads, these are their favorite books. So I'm excited to finish the whole duology, watch the show, and just share how I feel about it. But thank you so much for commenting and recommending this book. I love when people recommend books. I find that those are my favorite books ever to read. Six of Crows. I like this book. I have no qualms with it, really. The only thing is I'm not enjoying it that much as I anticipated enjoying it, and I think a big part of that is just the fact that everybody said this was like the best book they ever read, 6-7-star read. Just so many good things I heard about this book. I'm just not feeling it, and I think it's just because I overhyped it to myself, because other than that, I like the book. I just feel like I'm not that connected to the characters. Of course, the romance is fun. It's interesting. The heist itself is fun. It's intricate. There's so many details. There's so many moving factors. There is a whole world obviously being created in this book, and I can visualize it so well. I would say like 20-30% into the book, maybe not even that far, I started getting a grasp of it all, and it wasn't confusing at all. I understood it. I think that's kind of like the name of the game when you're reading a fantasy book. You kind of just have to trust the process until it starts making sense, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Six of Crows, I've been liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm 75% through still. I think it's not bad. I've been liking it. Everything I've said about it still holds true. It's a fun book. I love the little romances. I love how intricate and detailed it is, and the whole story that's coming together and building that heist is so visual. I can see every little thing that's happening. I like how the characters interact in groups of 2, but also as like a group as a whole. Besides that, this book, I've had this book for so long. I did a video where I talked about all the series I'm currently in the middle of, and this was one of them, and I have been in the middle of this book for so long. I'm on page 193, and I just kind of got to the point where I've accepted I'm just not going to read this book. I'm not going to read it. I haven't had any motivation to go in and read it. For whatever reason, I really liked the almost 200 pages of it that I read, but I just am having a hard time getting into it, and I think it's going to be the same problem that I'm having with this, but totally different reasons. I keep stopping reading the book and then picking it up later, and I'm kind of like, I remember what's happening, but I'm not in it. And I think truly at my core, I'm a binge reader. Just like with TV shows, I'm a binge watcher. I cannot go months at a time or days at a time without picking up a book and just resume like nothing happened. I think that's the same thing that's happening here. I've been reading this book for a month, so I'm not truly in it. But I've discovered a life hack. I've just been watching Carrie Can Read. I've been watching her YouTube videos, Forgot the Plots of A Course of Wings and Ruin, and it made the book sound so interesting. I'm like, wait, I'm so in this. So I'm counting that as reading the book. I'm counting it as like an audiobook. I don't know, or experience in the book. Obviously I didn't read it, but I'm gonna count that as experience in the book. And I liked it so much better from her point of view and her YouTube channel, her like summary of the book. I mean, she's detailed. The video's over 3 hours long. I've been obsessed with watching these Forgot the Plot videos of hers. I know this one in particular is really old, but just her like reading vlogs in general, her vlogs period, I'm obsessed with. And so her one of A Course of Wings and Ruin, I just finished it. Loved it. Had a great time. I think the book is probably really good, but I just couldn't be bothered reading it myself. So technically I just finished A Course in Wings and Ruin, but like I know I can, like, I know I didn't actually just finish it, but I'm gonna say I just finished it is what I'm gonna say here. But you guys, I mean, we all know the truth. So just finished A Course in Wings and Ruin. 75% through Six of Crows. I'm not gonna rate A Course in Wings and Ruin because I didn't read it myself and I didn't actually listen to the audiobook. I just listened to this 3.5 hour long YouTube video. I feel like that qualifies, but it doesn't. And honestly, Carrie is doing just amazing work. Amazing work. I really wanted to read, I think like last month or the month before last, I wanted to read that book that came out that everybody's talking about, Daggermouth, but I could not be bothered with actually reading the book. I opened up chapter 1, page 1. I was like, I'm not into it. I watched her video. So glad I didn't read it. I wouldn't have liked it, but I loved her video of it. Her video of Silver Elite, loved it. I want to read the Jasad Heir and Crown so bad. But I also want to watch her video, and I just know that I cannot watch her video first because then I will not go back and read the books. So anyways, yes, there's that. It's been several days since I last talked to you guys, and I am in fact still 75% through Six of Crows, so I'm officially deciding to take a step back from it because unfortunately I feel like it's putting me in a little bit of a reading slump, or I'm already in a reading slump, and I'm having a hard time reading this book right now for whatever reason. So I think I'm gonna put a pause on it. And I picked up a few books this weekend. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie, which I'm really interested in picking up and could be fun to pick up next. It's not really giving summer, so this is an option. I also picked up The Night in the Moth. I've seen a ton of people rave about this book and it's just so beautiful, and every time I see it in the store I wonder what this book is about. I want to pick it up. Everyone says Rachel Gilling is an auto-buy author for them because of the Twisted series, I think it's called, or One Dark Window. Last but not least, I'd like to pick up the Jasad Heir. I've had this book for a while now. I bought it months ago thinking I was going to automatically pick it up and read it, and I haven't. That tends to be the case with me at this point. I'm honestly in between these books. It's like a toss-up. Maybe I should just have my boyfriend pick which book I should read. Do you want to tell me which one of these 3 books I should read? See, with romance?
I'm sticking my guns. The yellow one is in last place.
Really? I'm really into this one, though. This one sounds the most fun. But I don't know. Okay. Oh, this is kind of scary, putting it in your hand.
I feel like you should start with this one because it's like so attractive and you spent money on it just because you like the way it looks. Like, give it a try. If you don't like it, then switch to this one.
I asked my boyfriend to pick. As you saw, he picked The Night in the Moth. So I'm going to pick that up because it also is only 382 pages compared to the other 2, which is 450 and like 500 and something. Also, I just think this book is so pretty. And also, a leading factor, I can read it on Kindle, which is going to be nice for when I'm laying in bed at night. I love to read on my Kindle, so I can swap back and forth between reading the physical copy and the Kindle copy, which is going to be nice. But I just wanted to vlog today. I intended to start so much sooner. I woke up at 7:30 in the morning. Today is Friday, July 3rd, so it's a freebie day. Everybody has today off, or everybody I know has today off because tomorrow is the 4th of July. So I wanted to record so much sooner because I have so many plans for today. I'm currently at home in my hometown. I went to the nail salon with my sisters this morning, got my fingers, my toes done a couple of hours ago. Actually not a couple hours ago, like an hour ago we finished up. So now I'm finally heading out, going back home to my apartment. It's an hour and a half drive away. So I've got quite the drive ahead of me. It's gonna be like 5 o'clock when I get back. The day is gonna be practically over, but look how low my gas is. I genuinely might not even make it to the gas station. I have actually never had gas that low before.
Literally page 1, not even chapter 1. You know the story about Bartholomew, though you do not remember it. I'll tell it to you as best as I can and promise to be honest in my tale-bearing. If I'm not, that's hardly my fault. To tell a story is in some part to tell a lie, isn't it?
I'm so excited. I'm so happy I started The Night in the Moth. I started the physical copy, but now we're like out and about grocery shopping for dinner tonight. So I switched over to my Kindle version, and already I can tell I'm just super eager and excited. I'm super enthralled with the writing style. Everything just seems to be coming together, and it's making me so excited to read. So I think this is gonna help me get out of my reading slump exactly as I intended. I'm just pumped. I'm actually just so excited to read this book. So I don't know, right away I was like, I'm gonna be in love with this book. I'm gonna love the writing, everything about it. And then as I've been reading it, just the way she says things I think is so geek. I don't know a better way to say it, but very visual, and I'm liking it because, like I said, I've been going from reading like a regular romance books, and I'm not shitting on these books because they are my favorite books to read, still are. I'm still gonna read another one, but it can be very much like the wall is blue, the grass is green, I'm walking on grass, now I'm walking on the pavement. So it's nice to see a little bit more of like cool language and ways to describe things. Very different, and it's making me excited to read. I think I was burning myself out on different types of books, but now I'm excited to read this book, and I'm excited to read more books. Anyways, we're at the grocery store. Like I said, we're grocery shopping tonight. It's date night. It's my turn to do a date. So every other Friday we do a date night, and we swap between I plan a date and then my boyfriend plans a date. So tonight we're watching Obsessed, and then I'm cooking dinner, so he would like burgers, so I'm making burgers, fries, and then for myself I'm making a baked sweet potato, ground beef, cottage cheese, and guac. It's like a ground beef hot honey bowl. I'm just not in the mood for a burger, but I'm gonna use the same ground beef and make my meal. So I'm just gonna like make 3 patties, leave 1 patty, ground it up, and cook it. I make the patties myself, but that's besides the point. I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for our little date night. We went to the grocery store. We normally go to 2 grocery stores. We go to one for like produce and meats, and then we go to another one for like shelf staples and stuff like that. But at the grocery store we were at earlier, they have this like sparkling water that I've never seen before, and it's leche sparkling water, and I thought it'd be fun to try it together. I don't know, it feels summery, and this is my summer reading vlog, and it wouldn't be a summer if I didn't get my hair rained on after it being a 92-degree day this morning and sunny and bright. Now it's raining and gloomy, and I love a rainy day, but not when it's raining on my freshly flat ironed hair. But it's okay. All right, let's try it. It's good. It's good. It is just water. But it's really good. I like it. But yes, date night tonight, dinner, movie, and then I will resume reading The Night and the Moth. I'm having a fun time, even though I'm only a couple of pages in. I can already tell this is going to be a read that I enjoy. I would love to do a Summerween reading vlog. I don't even know when Summerween is. I just want to participate because I need an essence of fall. I need to feel like fall is coming in order to continue surviving. Okay, so I picked up a Firefly Wedding. I'm driving home right now for 4th of July, and I thought that I could read this during the car ride because my sister loaned it to me about a week or so ago, and I have yet to pick it up. Said it only takes about an hour, maybe less, to read. And so far, I'm really interested in it. I just got to chapter 2, and I've never read a manga before, but I'm genuinely interested in the storyline, and I can see myself wanting to read the next book, depending on how this ends. But right now, the main character, I don't remember her name, was kidnapped for whatever reason. She's like super beautiful, super valuable, but she's sick. She has some kind of illness where her heart is going to fail sometime soon, and she gets kidnapped. No idea why. And this guy on the cover is hired to assassinate her at 9 p.m. So she has between now and 9 p.m. to convince him that she's valuable and that he should not kill her, and she can pay him or do something to get him to side with her. Like, he said, basically, if you have more money for me than the people who paid me to kill you, then I'll side with you and not kill you. So I believe chapter 2 is going to be about that, and I like it so far. It's very interesting to like be reading backwards, but I'm kind of liking it. I'm having a good time. I like all the pictures and everything in here. Most books, novels I'm reading do not have pictures included, obviously, so this is a pretty cool read. Okay, I finished. I'm like looking a little busted right now, but whatever. I finished Firefly Wedding on my car ride home, which I suspected. I finished it in about 30 minutes. I'm holding it upside down. And it was good. It was interesting. It left off on a cliffhanger. The main male character is kind of crazy, but I'm kind of loving it. The girl, she's like skeptical, but I could see her gaining interest slowly throughout the book. So I am definitely interested in book 2, to be honest, so I can see how this is all going to work out, because we definitely did leave off on a spot where I was like, how do we get here? Why are we here in the first place? Because we were somewhere dangerous, but then we moved to an island to be safe, and it feels equally, if not just it feels equally as dangerous as the situation she was in to start with. I don't know if it's something that I'm interested in buying the books for, the mangas for, but I'm kind of into it. But also I'm not. But also, like, I was explaining the story to my boyfriend, and he's like, this sounds like your books in a different font. And I'm thinking, does it or does it not? Because to me it sounds kind of crazy, but it could sound like my books if I just pretend as if he's a vampire. If you just pretend that the main male character is a vampire, the female main character is a fae and she just doesn't know it yet, or a vampire, or a human girl in distress, then it's basically the same plot, to be honest. So he's right, actually. If you just pretend like this is filthy rich fae, this could be the same thing, and I love filthy rich fae. So took some getting used to. Reading backwards took some getting used to. The first 5 pages I kept getting confused, but then after that I was like, okay, I get it. But now I'm going back to reading The Night and the Moth, as I should be doing. Good morning, everyone. It is like 10 a.m. I think, maybe 9:30 a.m. I woke up a little bit early, went and grabbed some 7 Brew, and I thought we could chat before I go back into my apartment. But last time we spoke was yesterday. I finished up Firefly Wedding, my first ever manga, and I do think I'm going to see if my sister will let me borrow book 2, because book 1 ended off on such a cliffhanger and I'm kind of confused. I need to know what's gonna happen next, I think. So mangas might be my new interest. I don't know. I never like
was into them, so I'd never known what they were about or anything. And it's just so intimidating to get into, but my sister likes to read them, so she recommended this one to me. And so far, so good. So that was the last time we spoke. Yesterday was the 4th of July. I did not do any reading of The Night and the Moth. Well, a little bit during my car ride, but not enough to update you guys because, like I said, it was the 4th of July. It was really nice and hot outside. A little too hot for my liking. First thing I did this morning was take the dogs out, obviously. Got a 7 Brew. Orange sherbet is my go-to flavor. I also stopped at Michael's because it's right behind our 7 Brew. Coloring books, because this is a new favorite hobby of mine. It's coloring all the time. My dogs are getting antsy because they're staying outside my apartment. I've been coloring all the time lately, so I'm so excited. Right now, I'm gonna go home, go inside, drink my 7 Brew, and kind of start the day off coloring. I don't know if you care about that, but that is my update. This has been way chattier of a vlog than I normally do for my reading vlogs, or I don't really know. I feel like normally my reading vlogs, my hair is looking crazy this morning. I was gonna say, I feel like normally my reading vlogs center just around the book I'm reading, and I kind of go back and forth between like a reading clip and a talking clip, a reading clip, and a talking clip, and I think it gets very repetitive sometimes, and it can be a little boring, so I'm trying out something new, and I'm trying to just be a little bit more natural, a little bit more vloggy with it. I don't know, I'm just trying things, so I'm being very talkative in this reading vlog. I don't know if it's gonna stick for all of my reading vlogs, but I'm liking it. It's a little less pressure to always have a reading update when I don't have one. And sometimes I read my books and I've never recorded anything because I wasn't doing reading updates, because I most of the time read in the middle of the night. So it's just been kind of hard to balance that. But now I'm having so much fun. So trying new things. My channel is a baby channel. No one knows my channels exist. I'm talking to the void right now, except for my subscribers. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for subscribing. So it's just me and you guys. It's a very intimate. So I feel like I can just try whatever I want to try and see what sticks, see what I like the most, right? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go inside and color. We have officially made it to the end of this reading vlog, which for me is just amazing. You guys don't even understand. I have been recording this reading vlog since like May 30th, May 28th. It's now July 15th, so it's been a while of me recording this summer reading vlog, but it's just because I went on 3 vacations. So in May I went to Mackinac Island, and then in June I went to the Virgin Islands, and then I just got back from going to the Ozarks. So I wanted to incorporate some of that into here and incorporate whatever books I was picking up throughout this like peak summer vacation time vibes for me. The most traveling I've ever done in a summer. But let's chat about all the books I've read. So the last time we spoke, I was picking up The Night and the Moth, and I did complete it while I was on vacation, and I do in fact love this book. Dare I say, this is like maybe my favorite book I have read this year. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about this book. The first thing I did when I finished it was went on Goodreads to just see what everybody else was thinking, and unfortunately I was hit with a bunch of 2-star ratings, a lot of which I disagree with, but everybody's opinion is everybody's opinion, you know? But I loved this book so much. I loved the way it was written, or the way like the tone of voice the narrator have. I loved the way the author wrote this and the language that was used. I thought it was a lot of fun. And it was very modern, but also not, if that makes any sense. This book follows Sybil, or Six, or Diviner. She is one of 6 diviners in this book, and her entire life, or for the past 10 years or 9 years of her life, she has been living in the cathedral. She has been living behind the walls of the church that she divines for. And basically that just means she's a dreamer, and so people will come to her to seek clarity on whether or not they have good or bad fortune in any different area of their life. So for example, the king, he is coming to see if the omens or the gods in this book favor him.
and Sybil is the best diviner of them all. She is tasked with the job of dreaming for him and dreaming of these omens and seeing if they give good signs or bad signs, or if he will be favored by the omens as a king. And this has a lot of sway over the people, because a lot of the people are heavily influenced by these gods or these omens, of course, because they believe in them and the religion. So one day one of the 6 diviners go missing, and the next day another one and another one and another one, until all that is left is our main female character, Sybil, and she leaves, or she escapes with her gargoyle to figure out what is happening to these diviners. So we get to see her and this heretic, this knight, search the grounds for the remaining diviners and do other things as well. And she gets to discover what life is like beyond these walls, because she's been behind these walls for the past 10 years. She gets to see everything. She gets to learn new things. I loved it. I loved the romance aspect. A lot of people didn't like it. They said it felt kind of sudden. I disagree. All the way back in the first chapter, not the first chapter, but one of the very first chapters, they're like, find the prettiest diviner, and they all look at number 4, and then Roderick, the main male character, looks at her, and obviously he's thinking that she's the prettiest diviner. And there's little quirks like that throughout the book. I think we're like 75% through the book before the romance is actually initiated, and I loved that. I loved Gargoyle. He was my favorite character ever. I do think the ending was a bit predictable, but I think that was maybe intentional, maybe not. I don't know. She dropped a lot of hints throughout the book, so that once we got to the ending, I kind of suspected the twist. Not gonna lie. I 100% imagine it to happen the way it happened. Once we got to a certain point, I was like, okay, now this is gonna happen, and it did. And leading up to the ending, I had a feeling of what was gonna happen. I just didn't know what, obviously, but I still didn't care, and I loved it, and I can't wait for book 2. So, The Night and the Moth, I loved this book. It's beautiful visually, and the writing I thought was really pretty. I really just enjoyed it. There is a whole page in the back where the author talks about having brain fog from COVID, and I think maybe she wrote this when she had COVID, which I noticed from a Goodreads review, and I was like, that's interesting. Whatever, I still like the book, brain fog or not. I think also what else happened in here, people were saying that the main female character, Sybil, was very bland, and that the supporting characters outshined her. Dare I say, that is the point. Sybil is a girl who grew up sheltered. She grew up one of 6 with no identity. She doesn't speak her name. You cannot see her face. You cannot see the shape of her body because they all wear the same diviner's robe. She has no identifying characteristics. Well, the whole point is none of them can be identified, right? So, of course, she's a little bit bland. She is basically not a person. She's pretty much 10 years old, I want to say, by the time she escapes the cathedral. And then you can see her slowly but surely gaining personality and gaining, like, clarity. I did also read and complete 6 of Crows. Finished that after I finished The Night and the Moth. I think I finished this yesterday. This is a book that took me so long. I picked this book up, I think, in June, right at the beginning of June, and I have been reading it. Yeah, I picked this book up on June 4th, I think. And I just finished it yesterday, July 14th. So it has taken me over a month to read this book. And it's not because I don't like it. It's not because it's slumping me out or anything like that. I think it just took me a long time because I was just taking my time with it. So basically in April and May, I had read way more books than I typically read. In April alone, I read maybe 14 books, and I kept the same reading pace in May. So in June, when I picked this up, I was going on vacation. I went on vacation for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I kind of was just okay with slowing down a little bit, slowing my pace on my reading. I did read 14 books in April. I kind of kept the same pacing in May. So for June and July, I really wanted to just slow down a little bit. For me, reading is the most fun in the fall, the winter, the spring, but summer is my least favorite time of the year to read. So I already wasn't in the mood to read, and this was in fact a good read. I loved it. I loved the ending, and I do
find myself wanting to pick up the next book. I don't know when I will do that, but eventually at some point I will. The only thing about this is I wasn't super bonded to any of the characters. I felt like I was just there. I experienced the heist with them. I liked how they were set off in duos. I liked all the multiple romances going on. And I liked that a lot of the characters had, you know, a deeper backstory. Like, maybe I liked the most was Wylan and Jesper's relationship, oddly enough. And I wish we had a little bit more of it. Matthias and Nina I thought were nice, but it wasn't, I don't know, it was kind of just like, okay. Kaz and Inej have a great friendship thing going on, but I kind of just wish there was a little bit something more. And then obviously the other book I read in this video was Firefly Wedding. So that's all 3 books that I read in this video. I have one more comment on A Night in the Month. I do wish Sybil at some point would have asked questions. I also wish she would have questioned a certain character to Roderick and kind of brought up some of her concerns, but I also have to accept the fact that she is a little bit naive because she has been susceptible to manipulation, or maybe the point is she was taught to be manipulated and she was taught to not see the truth and she was taught to not ask questions, which is kind of the whole point of this whole book. So it makes sense that she didn't see the signs, or that she saw the signs and didn't want to question them. But I just wish maybe once she would have brought it up to Roderick or Gargoyle. That would have been nice or interesting to see. But anyways, those are all 3 books I read in this video, as you know. So thank you guys so much for watching this video or watching the past 2 months of my life. No idea what I'm gonna pick up next, but that will be in my next video. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.